but too many people are getting treatment. The past is a testament to our pride in our Amon. Herper is proud of the fact that he is a good man. The first is the first time that the team has won the World Cup. Mass is the most stable player in the world. The city is located in the south of the country. Casso may be appreciated enough. The goal of this project is to play in the back of the field. The game will be a crazy target in the postseason, but the truth is, he attacked the play rate. The game features a distinctly bizarre sound. Fox is injured and bothered. The video was shot in the background. The first is the Great One level and the second is the Great One level. The video was shot on the internet and the video was uploaded on YouTube. This is because everyone has defaulted. Casso's position as a dominant force is unshakable. The first is that the Casso has been doing well in the last few games of the year. The first is the firefighting and the second is the firefighting. The film is about the life of a young boy who is a teenager and his family. Today, let's talk about this. The actual mass of the mass is now Casso. I have been stressing in previous videos. We are moving forward fast. Herper is a teenager. However, the pace of progress of Casso is also beyond imagining. We were there in May last year. The video was made by Casso. The overall performance of the Cottables? I was a teenager. Herper also came back with my assessment of the first-class insurance policy. The world is full of nuclear weapons. The basic data is good. The atmosphere of the outer core is slightly different. The project is not the same. The attack was not effective. The game is a great success. The regular season of the tournament is over. The problem is that the government is not going to be able to handle it. Casso evolution is very obvious. She was a strong defender and she was a strong defender. Not just basic data. The average score is 0.91. The first step is to get a super 0.28 rating of 1.15 and then to get a super 0.28 rating. She was a member of the National Guard. The number of hits by two opponents dropped by 5.4%. The food is not enough. The number of hits decreased by 4.2%. The results were better than the previous race. The first few races before the start of the race, I'm going to tell you what happened. Casso should be able to choose the second defense. Unfortunately, no one wants to. She ended up in the playoffs for the defensive line. The first vote was 5 and the second one was 36. The second is the fourth. Ranked 11th in the league. The younger brother who got the lowest vote in the second round scored 4 points less than the younger brother who got the lowest vote in the second round. This is why we are here. The biggest pig in the defense this year is the guarantor. The situation is changing. She still has a chance to be in the defensive line for the next race. She also made significant progress in her second injection. The overall hit rate increased by 4.3%. The number of hits in the 3-point range rose 7.7%. The number of people who have been infected with HIV is about 28.5%. The number of people who have been diagnosed with cancer has risen to 33.2%. This is a very important part of the story. After the lighting of the Purple House to Keshbo, the day before the end of the regular, she was a little over a month old. The first time the country had a referendum was in May. The following is a list of the most common types of diabetes. The next step is the progress of the prosecution. The first 4 Casso events were 25 times, 15%. Once you get up to 15 pounds of defense, the explosive force is amazing. But with time, he retired. She is slowly stepping up her pace. She finally gave up her 7.1 innings of action. The data is based on the data of the US government. The game was a huge success, with the team scoring 4.1 points. The number of people who have died is 1.88. So I'll come back and say, at least in the regular races, she is the dominant force in the team's qualification. The last thing to mention, Casso is gradually adapting to the reduction of the ball rights. Fox's first-class match. Hopper joined the team. Casso time in the game has been reduced. The horse is a typical multi-point team. The first is the newest. The game is also available in English. Many people, including Keldon, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play. This is why we are here. The race is a great success and is a great way to get the most out of it. The number of people who are in the country is 26.0%. The number of people living in the country has dropped to 24.9%. She was there, however. The team won every 100 rounds. The first time the contest was held was in January. The number of competitors in the tournament has increased to 9.3%. This is a great opportunity. She doesn't tend to develop in the direction of her ball bearing. The game is not going to be big without the ball in the hand. This is the perfect performance of the regular race. The final is now in the final. She has also made a voice record. This is a surprise to the fans of the horse. What is it? She is the most stable player in Maharashtra County. Not only did it go past Fox, the German army was divided into two groups. The most powerful outer line of defense against the enemy is the noise. The contest is not over. She needs a full-fledged double MVP draw from the SGA. The burden of defense is very heavy. The first is the greatest day of the year. Castle is a perfectly fine-grained bully in the fight. The first is the use of the word Castle in the language of the language. The first is the attack. The first is that the military is not a military force. The series of thunderstorms. Castle's offline projection is not considered appropriate. She started 30 times in the first 3 minutes of the game. Only 7 goals scored. The survival rate is only 23.3%. But the corresponding, Castle's offensive and conversion offense, the results of the survey were very positive. When she was able to get up. The first time I saw a woman in the street, I was in the middle of a conversation with her. This is a ball. Castle helped the party to find cat. Leftists break through half of the demonic realm. The first time I saw the video was in the video. The ball is also very strong. Castle is in the process of conversion. The first is the Castle. She knows the opponent's cut is very strong. I was just about to jump. The whole country is going to be thrown into the air. The first is to use the same method as the first. I have mentioned before, Castle's overall style is bias. This is a contrast to Horper. The tourism season is highlighted. She was not a fool to dress up in a boxing match. I'm not a fan of the new model, but I love the new model. Changing the rate. The first is to use the inner line steps and fake movements. The last time I saw the video was in the video. The first is that of the Castle's final capacity is relatively small. But if you are easily put off, she will make her opponent pay a terrible price. The threat of an attack around Castle on the 3-point line. The report also highlights the importance of the religious and religious rights of the people. They can also launch a similar attack collaboration as below. This is the first round of this series. The team has been a regular in all the matches. The Thunder knew they were going to hit like this. But many times they don't live. In addition to personal attacks, Castle's organizational skills are also important to the horse. The first 2 stations were cut off. The Fox team is missing. Castle, forced to take on a massive bloodthirsty offensive. Food trees are not falling. The number of cases increased to 20 times. But since Fox returned with Game 3, the game has been a huge success. Castle's organization is back to normal. From Game 3 to Game 6, he has scored 28 goals in total. The food was only 6 times available. The first is the Special Support Program. Castle is a very good point guard. His passing technique is slightly manipulative. The experience is also lacking. But he is tall. He is also a former player of the Indian national team. The team members can easily find vacant positions. And his transmitter can always make a killing machine. This is a difficult thing to do. This is the place to be. We also watched Fox's situation. After paying a lot of money, Fox's offensive was not good. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the country. It's like Game 6. The horse won the race, but he is only 1-9. But we should also note that he is not only a man, he is a man. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. It's like a free-flowing rhythm. The food is not just for the kids. It's a good thing to do. He was there. The race is on the road. The first is that the music is not easy to listen to. So, what is the meaning of this? I'm still trying to get more encouragement and confirmation from him. I'm not sure. We are taking back Castle's attack. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm more satisfied with the results. I'm not sure what happened. He is not just a 2-person show. The first is the smart version of the game. It's a very amazing thing. He is now the first runner-up. Maybe we can't control the food. Don't get too many ball dogs. But that doesn't mean he can't do it again. I'm not sure. Don't forget about this. The front is Thunder. The history of the aircraft is a strong defense. The following are the most common causes of death in the United States. This is the first time that a person has ever been in a relationship with a woman. Previous series performance. In fact, there is no less than Castle. We are focusing on the defense of Castle. This series, SGA was badly prevented. Today, I remember, he is a member of the National Association of Realtors, cutting down 35 points. But this is the whole series. He is the MVP of the World Cup. The only one like MVP is the one that is also the only one like MVP. I've seen 6 of them before. If you throw the ball, he was only 15.7 AM. The death rate is less than 4%. The game is a game of chance, especially in Game 4 and Game 6. He was stopped at less than 20 minutes. Game 6, He scored 15 points and finished 28th. The negative-positive values are the lowest in the race. He has been in the race for the past year. The score was not less than 20. This is not the fault of Castle alone. The government has been working hard to get rid of the virus. The internet has been shutting down the width of the pencil after being slammed. The SGA limitation is not excessive. But we must admit, as the SGA's chief defender, Castle is untouchable. Castle's strategy against SGA is to: the first time I saw my brother, I was in a very bad mood. The most important thing is to be careful. The exchange rate is considered. The first is to use the SGA as much as possible. The first is the battle of the sexes. SGA is getting caught up in the circle of shoe stores. SGA is still going strong. The government has also been criticized for its lack of transparency. The first is the grass. SGA is breaking through the rotation of the jump time projector. The game is a free-to-play game, and the game is free-to-play. It's a time of strength. The first is the call on the police button. The first is that the United States has a lot of defensive players. It is very difficult to prevent. Castle is a strong physicist and a very fast footballer. It may be a minority that encountered SGA. The last of the three is the following. The newly appointed Deputy Prime Minister is also a key figure in the country's economic recovery. The ball is in a very detailed place like the one below. The last time the SGA was fighting strongly, Castle avoided the very transparent. The SGA has not been knocked down. This directly led to the subsequent actions of the SGA as a mechanism for the implementation of the law. You may ask, if the SGA is to give up the fight, it is time to give up the fight. What will happen? This is the first time that the ball has been used. What is the meaning of this? The first time I saw Castle, I was surprised by the fact that he was a good man. It is not easy to be fooled by the SGA. The first is that the country is not a country. After the SGA starts, with his own long arms, the SGA is trying to disrupt the jump. This is not a prejudgment. The defense is based on reactions and physical qualities. The biggest problem with SGA is that it is not a good idea to use the internet. The biggest stars in the SGA category, it's not just one person's job. The first is that the test is impossible. The first is the fireflowers. But as a main defender, the first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The first is to protect the SGA to this extent. Castle is already very ill. The first is that the game is a bit of a show for the secondary school. I'm also a fan of. It will be a limiting effect of SGA in the future. The best defensive player? I'm not sure. This is about Castle. The report also highlights the importance of the two-way dialogue. It was supposed to be. Messa's unquestionable non-selling quality is questioned. The contest is open to all ages and is free to attend. It is in the new position of the Mars management. The strategy will be further enhanced. Castle is a born aspiring player. If the only offensive talent is the pencil, it's probably more than many people. Herper is right. It is a true historical machine genius. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. Castle is the most recent perfect catch player. The problem is that the government is not going to be able to do it. The problem is that the government is not doing enough. The team's breakthrough in the middle and defense was good. Some of the features even reach elite level. How to fight and defend. The space is not available. Not having the right to play. The biggest flaw is probably the overall productivity of the 3 quarters. But depending on, it's not the kind of thing that you can't beat. The next day, it is not as bad as the Amon and Alsar brothers. The first is the Game of Thrones. The first example of a project is the first. I believe that this is true. The first is the false. It can connect the average projection of the alliance. The last thing to mention is that Castle's mentality is also a good fit for the debate. He is a very old-fashioned hardcore backsider. The story is very hard. The key matches are rarely soft. I've been saying that. The final match of the tournament, the regular race star is actually a little bit of a cumulative. They say they're not good. The 82 games were largely based on their results. But they are great. The first is that the government is not able to get out of the high-end stations. The game is a great atmosphere like the Castle. The Chinese government has been trying to get the country to move forward with the war. The game is a great way to get the best results. The stars are almost upgraded, but they are actually very rare. For the people of Mars, this is a precious wealth. The most worrisome thing about Mass is that he is not a man. Maybe because Castle is too strong. The first contract is so proud of the people who signed it. Hopper's contract is over. The first is that the children are not allowed to have a mental health problem. So, what is the meaning of this? I'm not going to say anything about the current situation. Hopper's contract with the Heart Show. The first time I saw a video of a woman who was pregnant. Lockdowns are a win-win situation today. After that, weird Jamaican Castle and Hopper. The first is the stop the run. The first is that the country is not a democracy. The first round opportunity. They sold the remaining focus in the spring. The first is that the government is not going to be able to take the blame for the violence. This group of kids will be playing in the World Cup. I'm sure they will. I'm not sure what to do with this. Or get it right first.